Let's see, we'll still have to figure out what to do for weather for Suzuka. It'll be the next race we gotta figure out, and it's TOG pick, so I was planning on having some kind of rain, but I don't know whether I should wait and see how Sebring goes,
Right.
or
Well, it seems like
whether it just doesn't really fucking matter.
we're all having quite a bit of rain though, doesn't it? So,
I don't think
because
so. I think Sebring said for a race, and then Suzuka was gonna have some. I don't know about any other ones.
I was gonna have rain
I thought
for
it'd be funny to have rain at Yas Marina, just because,
yeah.
it's Yas Marina, but
Okay, kind of got my stream back to looking what it was. I don't know. It's a bit annoying because I feel more people watch the vertical streams than horizontal because they're flicking through like the fucking quick stuff.
yeah.
But you also miss out on quite a bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I always have a hard time telling what's actually going on when I check your stream. Sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, he probably saw it on his or whatever. I'll go check the, like, post-stream thing. Sometimes it's like, oh, I mean, I can see that something happened, but it's like too small to really tell who it is or like what the name above the car was or any of that stuff. And like, does it keep track of how long people actually watch for? Because I feel like the vertical stuff is more people just flipping through random shit on their phone instead of
It
just sitting
does.
down to actually watch something and stay there.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot more watch time on the vertical ones overall.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know though. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got all the data there. All the data's visible. You actually on today, or you just playing with your PC?
Oh no, I'm on. Could run some laps if something if you wanted to.
I wondered if you want to build one of the GT4 cars and we can go test them out somewhere.
All right. I haven't even downloaded Forza for the PC yet. I started the download. I just didn't let it finish.
How big a hard drive have you got?
Just a 1 TB.
Yeah, that's not gonna last very long.
Yeah. Yeah, so the thing is, I probably has a spot, it has a place for one more solid state, and then it has some SATA spots. So like, I don't know. I decide whether I'm just gonna buy a cheap ass old style hard drive to throw in it, so that way I have a spot to dump some stuff that like I don't necessarily use as often. I can move it back to the solid state if I want to use it, or well, that's yeah another potential expense in the fucking thing. Yeah, find a place with some Assetto mods that are like paid ones that like their thing just says like we don't own anything here. We can't control what's uploaded and all this stuff. So like some people just upload their mods that they went and bought from somebody for other people to download for free. So on one hand, I feel kind of like a dick just stealing somebody's shit that's only costs like $2 anyway. But then there are some of the places that charge 15 or 16 bucks for their mod, or 15 or 20 bucks for their mods, and it's like I ain't doing that. Like
Yeah, you'll
I got
end
like a
up down
V8
the rabbit
supercar
hole.
pack, and they're kind of fucking annoying though. Yeah, well, the V8 supercar pack that I found is like one of the charged ones, but like so the real cars where they have the infotainment screen, they they put like they have the infotainment screen cycle through various sponsors and stuff for the in-car video stuff. And I always assumed that like those old laptop screens where like once you got off a little bit to the side, you just couldn't read the screen anymore. It was just black basically. I
Right.
was kind of figured it was like that, so that way the driver didn't see it. But yeah, in the cockpit view for them and that like it's annoying. And it just like cycles to the people who made the liveries and stuff for them. I was like, God damn, I should fucking turn this off. It's annoying. And like, yeah, if I'd paid 20 bucks for it and then it's just the turns out the cars annoy me to drive, I'd not be very happy. What in the fuck have I got going on with this thing? Reset car to stock.
Which car are you building?
The Aston, I guess. Which race spoiler do you put on the Aston Martin? Because there's two of them for some fucking reason.
The Forza one. It should be always the Forza one. Forza Race Era.
They're both Forza ones.
Oh, are they? Do they look any different than the
Pretty
other?
sure what it is. Nope. I'm pretty sure what it is that the second one probably is designed to go with the wide body kit and not like the wing itself looks the same, but if I remember right, this car early days had one of those like invisible race wings. Like after you put the wide body kit on, if you went to the race wing thing, it just wouldn't change anything, but it'd give it more downforce. So I'm wondering if they didn't like air quote fix it by just being like, oh, okay, just put the Forza wing on, I guess. Because the one looks like it has more downforce because it's, yeah, handling goes up to 5.0 instead of 4.9. Well, I put the front bumper on yet, but yeah, 5.0 or 5.1.
I'm just
How many PI is it supposed to be?
Xbox is taking a long time. Got too many cars. So 743. It's handling should be
Okay,
5.1.
so that's okay. Yeah, so that's the high downforce wing, I guess. I don't know. Like, I hate the way the wing looks on this one because it's like not wide enough, and then I also hate the fucking orange gas leather interior. That's just bright as shit.
Yeah.
But I don't really like Mustangs very much. Don't really like the M4 that much. Don't really like Caymans that much. So it's like, all right, at least this one will sound good, probably.
Well, unfortunately, it's the twin turbo one.
Yeah, they still made it sound good though. I mean, in the Mercedes anyway. The crossplane crank one sounds good. What the fuck is this transmission? Stupid ass 8 speed. Alright, let me remember what the hell. I always just used to use the Tremec TR6060 numbers. Because like the one that's in the CTSV and the Camaro ZL1 and stuff, I always liked the ratios in that, and they were always like almost perfect for the Nordschleife. So sometimes when I have one of these dumb transmissions with like 10 speeds or whatever, I just set it up the same way as a 6 speed. But it's been so long since I've plugged them into anything, I only remember half the numbers. The fuck do you need a first gear that only goes to like 30 miles an hour in a car with 500 horsepower? In a car with 100 horsepower? Okay, maybe.
Hmm.
30, 20.
So I get around to doing. Where's my notes to?
It's probably good. I just gotta finish a few things up too. Mule Train and Awesome need liveries, which they both were like, just give me whichever one. And it's like, well, pick one, god damn it. And gotta fucking share Sean's livery and Sam and Raj's thing. So I'm gonna figure out what fuck livery I'm gonna drive. Alright, you making a lobby?
Yeah, I've already got one
Yeah.
going. You need an invite? No.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, don't forget that the car will be power cut by 20% roughly, so you might want to adjust your.
Yeah.
I haven't really done any tuning whatsoever so far in the cars. I've just tried to balance them as they are. The only thing I've changed when I was testing is I put them all at 30 psi because some of them were just putting it in stupid places.
Yeah.
And I for the ones that were 50-50 weight distribution as well, I evened the roll bars because I kind of like how the balance is when they're even.
Yeah. You know, like roughly what kind of straightaway speed they hit?
Depending on what track. Um, what
Like
was that?
150
One sec.
something ish.
I was doing
That
140.
absolute peak.
Um, at the start finish line on Grand Oak, I was hitting 145.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know. Fuck it. Let's try that. I'm guessing it's probably gonna end up being kind of annoying where it's like a 5 speed kinda and 6 is too long maybe, but whatever. Oh, that was
Oh,
weird.
okay. 1 second.
Something's
It
wrong.
it's done that glitch where it's put it down to 200.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so supposedly any power cut that's a multiple of 20 does that.
Not every time though. I think it's just a bit random when it does it.
Yeah.
I'll just double check it one more time. Seems to like when I check it then. Are you able to go into the event settings and see if it's changed back to 2.5?
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's 2.5 right now.
So why did it do that? Let's change
2.25
track.
it is. Supposedly it's any time the host enters the event setup menu, it reverts. That's part of the reason why the Lamborghini is 0.55 instead of 0.6.
Event. See, that should have worked this time. Yeah, engine power. Thank you.
Mine says 250 if I look at it again, but see what happens.
Well, I've definitely got the correct amount of power.
Yeah, it could just be the bug. Oh yeah, it sounds normal this time, at least before it releases me, yeah.
Yeah, so just resetting the track seems to fix that. In this mode, at least, anyway.
Yeah.
This definitely seems faster in the straights.
funny the way some of this car stuff works. Like, what are they called now? Optus or whatever Rentec Europe changed their name to. One of their most common things, I guess, is people bringing them AMG Black Series GTSs with the flat plane crank motor in it
Right.
and wanting it to sound like the crossplane crank motor. It's like in the base AMG GTS. And so they've been like trying to work on an exhaust that makes it rumbly and stuff instead of more than like on the opposite end you have the Corvette thing where it's like all of the upper model Corvettes have switched to flat plane crank and the race cars do and stuff and well like oh it sounds more exotic that way or whatever and then people who actually have something that's kind of exotic just want it to sound more like an American V8.
Are you struggling a bit in that thing, or are you just pushing a bit hard?
I just haven't driven it all today so I don't feel like I'm warmed up at all. Hitting fucking apex curves too. Doesn't help.
I feel they drive kind of GT4-esque, though.
Yeah.
feel like the Supra might be a bit too quick on the straight, so which is strange because when I did a lap, they were quite similar on lap time. Did you put any downforce or something on your car?
I went up on the front and all the way down on the rear.
Mine's still on
My
stock, I
gears were
think.
probably a little on the long side. I'm really only going to need fifth gear.
I'm in sixth. There's quite a big difference in speed there.
Yeah.
So we need to go about 5 seconds a lap faster, I think, to match the pace I had in the Porsche, the BMW.
I don't think that'd be doable. Fucked that section up. Too much curb at the first apex and understeered to the second one. there a tire wear multiplier on?
Should not be, no.
What tire wear do you have?
21.5?
Yeah, I'm 22.5. It just seems a little on the high side. Maybe not, I guess, though, because that would mean like 3 laps basically to a set of softs, which is about 27 minutes. Yeah, it does seem a little high.
Oh no, we might have to use a different compound in the race.
Yeah.
Although your fuel tank might not be big enough to hold that long, so...
Yeah.
It's a shame, it's so stupid we don't have a fuel multiplier as well.
Yeah.
0.5 on fuel and 0.5 on tire or something stupid like that.
I feel like we'd also need. And like, if they'd just given us the tools that they used, so we can change, like, set up a lobby where only certain cars are allowed, because obviously, like, they have the GT things and stuff set up by division,
Yeah,
and they've blacklisted some cars out of those and stuff like that, and then they can make it so that every car has its own BOP, and that when you get in the lobby, it just automatically puts the right parts on the car and you can't change them.
right.
Like, that'd be so useful for making league stuff. You set the lobby up all. Yeah. If one car has too good a straight line speed, you just add some drag to it, and stuff instead of having to go change the power. Then you can keep its acceleration basically the same without impacting the top speed. And I don't know, and that'd be another thing too. It's like if we could give, like, the problem with fuel burn multiplier is that depending on what the car's issue is, whether its engine is too thirsty or whether its tank is just too small, could have like like applying one fuel burn to every car in the lobby could mess things up in that situation. So being able to apply it on a car by car basis would be nice. Even figuring out a weird season where I mean, I guess it would take a lot of work and testing and probably not be worth it. But one where it's like one car gets bad tire wear and the other one gets bad fuel mileage. You can decide which one you want. Or
That'd
just
be kind of
alternate it
interesting.
each week so that way both cars have the problem. I guess just all the guys with the wheel would take the car with bad tire wear. Be a little better off in a lot of cases. Guess not if we made it a front wheel drive car or something, but
So at 10.6, so I was only a second off the Porsche time, but around that track, a second is negligible anyway, really.
Yeah. I need to fiddle with the car a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Almost wonder if it wouldn't be better with the lower downforce wing.
gonna jump into the Aston Martin as well.
Yeah, probably won't, because it's only.
I think when I picked it, I just went all the way to the right and assumed, oh yeah, that's the Forza race wing.
Yeah.
Didn't even bother looking at the other one because I didn't expect it to be any different.
I think I'm gonna leave that alone.
The interior is terrifying though, right?
Yeah, I don't. Not a fan of that fucking bright leather stuff. It's funny because like I'm kind of the opposite of some people. Some people like that like saddle tan stuff better. I almost prefer the like
Black.
what do you call it? Like, well, yeah, but I mean like when it comes to tan colors for interior, I almost prefer the like almost white kind of ashy pale kind of thing. A lot of people find that one really generic and boring, so they like the saddle tan's much brighter and contrasts more and stands out. And it's like, yeah, but that kind of like exaggerates how offensive it is.
They do a really nice brown color interior. Actually, it's just like a chocolate color brown.
Yeah. All right. Let's try. Oh, Nades and Mike are gonna try to do the Daytona 24-hour on iRacing. Okay. Mike has gotten a lot better. I think it helped when he started doing left foot braking.
Is that sorry?
Mike has gotten a lot better since he started doing left foot braking. I think it helped him a lot.
I tell you what, left foot braking in the Sim's dangerous though, because you start doing it in real life sometimes, and you think, oh no, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, especially for him, because he was trying to drive, like, GT3 cars and Formula 4 and stuff like that. Like, especially with modern cars that are very stiff and, like, quite, like, they
Yeah.
transfer their weight and stuff very quickly. It's definitely more of a help. Especially for the formula cars and prototypes and stuff because he's like, I want to race LMDH and formula cars. It's like, yeah, in those cars you can't right foot brake. Like they physically don't let you do that kind of. Especially the formula cars, like your legs are locked into place. You
Yeah.
don't have a choice. But they're so designed to be, yeah, direction change and plant and stuff. Like if you're gonna drive right foot braking, then that's mostly done in like vintage cars and stuff that have a lot of roll to them. I found a mod for AC that's kind of cool, where a guy made like a fantasy LMDH version of the Mercedes, like a Mercedes powered thing. Couldn't find a fucking Cadillac to download, but at least the Mercedes has a V8 in it. Mercedes probably sounds better than the Cadillac would anyway.
Did you download any of the Togo stuff?
No, I was going to, but I just kind of hadn't got that far. Like for tracks and stuff, I got that Thermalito place. It's like I was surprised how good it was because it looked cool on the guy's stream, kind of, but it's like a very engaging track. There's a lot of subtlety in like where bumps and crests and things like that are placed, and it's really good. So I ended up, being like, oh, I'll do a few laps here, and then like 3 hours later, it's like, oh shit, I was just driving to this fucking track. I got Riverside. I got two different versions of Charade, but I haven't really driven them because it was one of the ones that I was having the like lighting issue problem at, where I couldn't see where I was fucking going. But now that I fixed that, I guess I can go drive there. I got. Oh, I got that guy's like Project Targa.
Right.
He has like the track all done, but yeah, like the buildings and stuff still, like some don't have windows. They're just like, boxes and stuff like that. It's in progress. I didn't get the traffic mod for it. Like back in the day when they would need to practice it, they'd just unload their race car and go drive it on the road around the island, basically. And so he had like or somebody made a mod for it anyway that adds like, Mini Coopers and Lancias and stuff like that that are just driving around as traffic.
I downloaded
So
one
that's
mod
kind of
to get
fun.
the
But yeah, I wanted to get.
Isle of Man's really good to drive around.
Oh yeah, that'd be a cool one. And I found one, I haven't downloaded it yet, for the Deutschland Ring,
Right.
which was like that track that they were building to replace the Nordschleife. Like the Nazis were, and then the war happened, and it never got finished or whatever. So that could be an interesting one. So I think it's like not as big as the Nordschleife, but it was going to be pretty big. Yeah, and I was gonna go find that Jimmy Broadbent video, because there was one of them where he like showed which mods it was that he used for one of them, but I couldn't remember. I found one that sounded kind of cool that I like tagged, but I just hadn't downloaded yet. I got all the AC Legends packs, although unfortunately some of those, like, they didn't give the cars auto blip and auto clutch features. Which, yeah, like, I know I should be driving them with the fucking thing anyway, but it's like, go plug my fucking shifter in and then remember how much I suck at heel and toe and all that kind of stuff, so it's like, never mind. Like, I can just drive without heel and toe and kind of do okay like at it. There's, I fumble sometimes, but should just do that for a while and start to get used to that and like ease myself into it, but I'm impatient and straight away like try to be fancy and cool with it and fuck it up and then get annoyed.
Okay, I'm quite concerned at how slow the Aston Martin is stock compared to the others,
Yeah.
which is really strange because that, I suppose, high speed. Maybe we do need to switch to the other wing then, if this is the higher downforce one.
Yeah. I should be able to get like a 10, but
Yeah, but the other ones are all set on stock aero as well. That's the only problem.
yeah. God damn it.
Which will probably mean I need to go check, make sure this can do the same lap time now still at Grand Oak. So the rear wing now produces 137 foot-pound pound of downforce. What did the other one actually produce?
It was 115 at minimum. Or, well, 112 at minimum or whatever. It was like 208 or something, I think, was its default.
So that's more downforce. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Or we could replace the Aston Martin with the Mercedes AMG GTR.
It's got too much power.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess with the power cut, I'd have to sell like a separate bucket for it. I was gonna say, because I built it as a GT4 car with like 400 horsepower, and it drove pretty damn nice with the sport suspension and stuff. But that was the car that eventually spawned the Lamborghini because it was my first project, and I was like, wait, we drive mid-engine or front engine rear-wheel drive stuff all the time. Let's find something mid-engine instead. Yeah, I wish we just had fucking GT4 cars in the fucking game.
Yeah.
Of course, they'd fuck them up and make them like full race tuning and stuff like that anyway, which isn't right or ideal.
Yeah, but we can fix that just by forcing everyone to use one. one tune.
Yeah, I guess. I got a 9.7, an 8 basically.
Well, that fits the same time as the others. But that's saying if
I
I
was
can do
with
it there.
no rear downforce and with the gears dialed in a bit better. It was a pretty good lap. Probably still another half second in her or whatever. So there was definitely one corner that I like hit the inside curb and ran out near the edge and kind of had to lift out of it.
Shit. That's what I really liked about the Porsches here. The Porsche was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think that was the most fun I've had at the Nürburgring for a while. Can we not just get everyone to jump onto ACC for a season?
Well, jump onto ACC and buy the GT4 pack for $20 unless it's on sale,
Worth it.
and not have very many tracks that are good, and probably have shit racing because we can't control anything in it. Like we can't turn damage off, and we just have to have no cautions because there's no quick fix for damage. We'll be sitting in the pit lane for 5 minutes or whatever while we're driving around under caution, and then they get mad and quit. And it'd be four of us. Oh well, and also the guys on PC can't join because it's not cross-platform. So it'd be you and me. If we could convince Loopy to show up another day. Maybe Kelvin? He has the game, but I don't know if he has the GT4 pack. The last time I asked, he wasn't even sure if he had it. Yeah, Anime, Orange's Ball are out. Sam's out 'cause he has an Xbox One, but not a Series console. Raj is out because he wouldn't be able to drive it on the controller. He can barely drive Forza on the fucking controller. I feel like he's going backwards instead of getting better. Third? Raj.
Alright.
Of course, he hasn't really made any actual effort to get better. He still just does half a lap and is like, this thing needs traction control. Like, no, fucking doesn't. Nothing does. Don't be a bitch. I'm 2 seconds faster. It's like, well, then you're an idiot. So fix it. Don't just turn it on. every fucking week. It's like, this fucking piece of shit car, what do I do if it's sliding? Like, drive better. Like,
You see some of the replay from the last few laps of me and Ball in that last race.
I just watched the crash and then shut it off.
He was complaining that he wasn't getting the draft. But on the back straight, going onto the, after turn 2, I was getting a better exit out of there, so I was pulling on him a little bit, but then he just never seemed to recover. But he was definitely getting
Yeah.
he was definitely getting draft on other sections of the track where, like, we got very similar sort of
I think
exits.
your gears were good for the Supra too, because like I had noticed the lap before that, or not before, but like the one before I fucked up going into the hairpin when I was driving behind you and like you were catching Raj, was like you were able to pull away from me a little bit chasing him. I mean, not much, but like around the parabolica there.
Yeah.
You know, it was like inching away or whatever. So, I mean, obviously you were in Raj's draft, but that would make sense that if you didn't have anybody you were drafting on, then the Skyline really wouldn't gain much, if anything, if his gears weren't. I don't know, like, it was weird in qualifying. My gears seemed noticeably better than his, but he says he didn't change them. But, like, I was pulling on him good coming off the hairpin and basically all the way up to it, like, in qualifying. So, yeah, I don't know if he was just getting shitty exits, I guess. And it wasn't like, I was gapping him, but, like, I was definitely creeping through better. And it seemed like once we got to the race, then it seemed like he actually was getting off the hairpin better than I was.
So, 1 second, my
I can't
wife
seem to
is
fucking focus anymore. Alright.
requesting that I take her some medicine. I'll be right back.
Alright.
I don't even know what medicine that is, so I'm gonna have to hunt through the box of whatever it is. Be right back. I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna think about getting the Audi R8, but that would have needed also a bigger power cut.
Yeah.
And that just seemed like it would be too much work, so I drew the line at 5. I just thought it'd be
Yeah.
kind of nice to see that many different cars on the grid sort of thing at the same time. If we can make it work with
Right.
fairly simple balancing. To be honest, I'm not too concerned if they're not like within like a tenth of each other, because if we did that VOP system where if you got a podium you'd lose 5% of your engine power anyway.
Right.
Spending much more time in the Aston.
Nah.
Oh shit. How have I done that?
Eh.
I was like, I was 2 seconds off. Somehow I managed to get 15% engine damage. I don't even recall hitting the red limit. Yeah, I think if we can get them within 3 tenths, 2 to 3 tenths, I think that'd be obviously not on this track because this track is too hard to get a perfect lap sort of thing. But
Yeah.
maybe if we just pick a track um, to host for the first one to see if we want to do it for a longer one. And we just try to balance it to that first race. That's strange. You tried an Audi R8 with a similar build?
No, I was just looking at the thing. This one wouldn't be good to use anyway, because this is the one that was a prize car. It was just the only one that I could get to, I think, because of the way you have it set up. I'm not sure.
Some reason I know I took a load of screenshots the other day, and they haven't uploaded.
Memory thing used up.
Is there a limit of how much you can use?
Yeah, how much will upload?
I have 70 so far.
I wouldn't think that'd be too many, but I don't know. Can't remember how. There used to be a way to tell. If you went to,
Yeah, now if I go into my captures, I've got one.
yeah, so if you go to
I've got
that,
one
then go to the
there.
manage thing.
Yeah. See, I'm missing all the cat ones I took. I can see it in recent captures. They're all there.
Yeah, it's just not on the Xbox network.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to like the My Captures like thing, like you go to, push the guide button, then to recent captures, then to the bottom where it says show all.
Mm.
And then you click on that little thing that looks like a briefcase or whatever that says manage. That'll show you in the top right corner how much Xbox network storage you have available. I wouldn't think that'd be
No,
like you
I've
can
only
put
ever
quite a
used
bit of shit on
3%.
there. Yeah. Huh. Then you might be able to find them if you go to like on this console or whatever and then manually click on them and tell them to upload.
Upload. Is it up? Is it OneDrive they get uploaded to?
There should be an option to send them to OneDrive.
There's not an option to just put it up onto the network. Hmm.
Should be an option. Maybe not.
I've got to do it individually. I can't. Yeah, I have to do it for each individual one.
If you go to that manage thing, it lets you like check multiples
Yeah, but then
to do
that
stuff with, so that might be
that
the way
upload
to do
button
it.
disappears though.
Oh.
I was wondering because I took a few photos for the from the race the other day that I was gonna play around with, and they all disappeared. Because I got an even better picture of Bob in the air. Damn, this thing's fucking. This is long-winded. Hopefully. That's Punisher's constant fire coming out of his exhaust pipe.
Huh. Yeah, Punisher has ACC. Yeah, loopy race with him one night. I thought about trying to do an ACC Tuesday night. Like, obviously, we'd lose Homer and Go Big. Go Big hasn't been around anyway. God, Homer was cutting the fuck out of a couple of those corners last night. It like fucked me up too because once I started watching him do it, I started like overthinking the corner myself and like getting slower at it. I'm pretty sure. It's hard to tell whether I was just losing time because he was all the way over off the fucking thing. And a couple times I didn't really lose anything. A couple times he'd like cut the inside, but carry too much speed and then go bouncing through the field on the outside and just stay full fucking throttle and end up kind of giving it back. I was like, God
Was it intentional cutting?
damn. Yeah. Like when I said something the one time about it, he was like stopped for one lap and then sort of went back to it, just not quite as bad. And then like every lap, like the yellow flag pops up in front of him where he's off the fucking road. And like I really think that the second to last corner, like that left hand kind of kink thing, I think he probably went through there. I mean, just based on the one or the two races that I was behind him for the thing, like I'm guessing he probably went off the track there more times than he did stay on the track. Especially if you count off on the inside and off on the outside, like as two times, then nowhere near as close.
It would be fun just to learn the tracks on ACC a bit more, because it's like I would like to play it more. I just literally don't have the time to play it more.
Yeah. There's also just kind of not really a lot to do on it. Like, there's not really a big multiplayer thing for it.
No,
And racing with the AI is not. It's not
I
bad
normally
for
just
single
test
class, I
drive.
guess, compared to some other games.
I occasionally jump into a public lobby, but not very often.
It'd be kind of cool to do like a German kind of thing and like at the R8 and the Mercedes and the Porsche. Well, I don't think you can do that really without having them look stupid. Because I guess you could just do the Porsche and the Mercedes. So that's like the thing, like that could be fun with, like if we had more GT4 cars, that's like, what do you call it, Project Motor Racing. Like it actually has a good selection of them, so you could do like Nissan versus Toyota for a Japanese one, and Mustang versus the Camaro for an American one, and do like, Porsche and Mercedes or something for a German theme one, and kind of like drive cars that people can actually handle back to back with seasons that have a little bit of a different theme. But yeah, we don't really have that option in Forza without just building our own. And like I say, the balancing process is just so
Painful.
like yeah, and I don't still it's like I don't feel that confident in it anymore. It always feels like am I really getting the most out of this thing? Like I don't even know.
Yeah. I, it's also not easy when it's only just me and you doing it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Orange has been busy. I mean, can't help that. That can't be helped. He's your real life's got to
Yeah.
come first, right?
Yep. Yeah, you can't get fired over it. Like,
But no,
and like I sort
I
of don't
never,
know what to do too because it seems like we
I
don't
never
have
see
any
an enemy
option
on.
other than Forza.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know for a while he had like a weird work schedule because he was doing like DoorDash and stuff to fill in when he didn't have a job. So he was kind of there and then not there and stuff depending on what was going on. Yeah, now he's like working on another one of the things again, is the same, but then he also has Dungeons and Dragons night and night where he works with the guy or plays with the guy that he works with or whatever, which it sounds like he probably should be kind of kissing that guy's ass. And hanging out with him a lot and stuff, staying his buddy, so that way he can maybe get a job again. One, but yeah, so it's kind of hard to tell when he's there, and like he's always online in the Discord, but then he just like doesn't fucking respond to anything. Sometimes in the staff room when we post stuff, and it's like, yeah, dude, fucking seen it. Like he's on late sometimes lately, a few times. So he is also kind of like me though too, and I think he stays up really late, even though he actually has a normal job to have to get up for. Mine's at least flexible, so if I sleep in, I can, as long as I'm up early enough to get stuff to the post office, it doesn't really fucking matter. Just do some work at 2 o'clock in the morning and then go to bed, finish it up the next day.
you not get your post office to come to you.
Um, no, like, there's a way you can schedule that kind of stuff, or well, you can set it for that. The last time I looked at doing that, though, it was like they show up when they want to, instead of a certain time. And I think it's again changed now, but there was a while where like I talked to the post office, like we're sort of family. I mean, she doesn't even work there anymore, I guess, though it doesn't really matter. But we're sort of like family friends with the lady that used to be like the main post lady in the area. And when I guess there's like two ways, like if we went to the post office and bought the postage there, then that helps the local post office because it like tracks as business for them. So it like helps them when they decide like when they need another employee or whatever, whether or not they get it. And then if postage runs through it, like even if you print the label at home but you drop it off there as the pickup point, then it shows up as traffic through them. Whereas at the time, if it was scheduled for pickup here, instead it would go to another post office, like the Veneta one, that's more the hub one, and then it would like pass over them. So yeah, and so like, I don't know, like I can just do it on my own time and just drop it off when 4 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever. And at the time it helped them, but then again, like I said, she stopped working there. She's kind of a bitch. We actually, like my family likes her husband,
Right.
like I go to concerts with them and stuff sometimes, but like she's kind of a bitch. I don't really like her very much, but
What is it? The sort of things you have to post? Is it like LPs or is it just just CDs and stuff?
Uh, we kind of do general media things, but it's mostly CDs and cassettes. But yeah, sometimes LPs and sometimes books. Haven't done posters in a long time. Like we used to have a store, so we have like a bunch of promo, like stuff in storage that was all like stuff that got mailed when a new album's coming out, and it's like got release
Mm.
dates and shit on it. So
Do people actually buy much
they're usually kind of
CDs and
annoying to ship.
cassettes anymore, though? Is it
Yeah,
still popular?
yeah. It
Suppose,
fluctuates a little bit. I mean, cassettes went up weirdly, like, I don't know, 15 years ago now. It's like
really?
tapering off a little bit again. Yeah, well, there was a while where we were selling more cassettes than CDs.
Jesus.
And it's like, it's kind of like a hipster thing. And then I think, like, in some places it's kind of a hipster thing. In some things, it's, like, like, I've been a Metallica fan for 40 years now, and I have everything on CD that I listen to, like, in my normal stereo, and I have everything on vinyl because vinyl's cool. Shit, I guess I'll get everything on cassettes, kinda. So, like, it's just sort of like that, I think.
I'm surprised people
But
even
yeah,
have
there's a little bit of
cassette
a, like,
players.
yeah, they're kind of like a shitty format. Like, they can break
Yeah.
and degrade and stuff, and yeah,
Yeah, the
it's
actual
funny
tape
the amount of
themselves
shit
degrade
too
as
that,
well.
like, yeah. And yeah, like they get brittle too. So like when you rewind them, it'll break the leads on it, and that's always fucking annoying to have to fix. And yeah, it's funny the stuff when you get like an order for something, and it's like priority mail, $15, get it here tomorrow for like a fucking Eagles cassette for an album that came out 40 something years ago. And it's like I've got to have this tomorrow. It's like, man, you had 40 years to buy it, and you just now decided you fucking need this thing. Like, there is some stuff like we sell a lot of like Christian and stuff like that music that like never really came out on CD. And I don't know why anyone would want to listen to that stuff anyway. Like religious music generally is fucking awful, I find. Like it's all that like choir and like chanting and stuff like that. It's all got like really cringe stuff in it, but like Gaither vocal trio things and stuff like that. We sell that stuff all the time. It's just a lot more on cassette than on CD too, which is kind of weird. I don't know if weird religious people who actually listen to that kind of stuff just all have cassette players for some reason.
It's probably the churches, probably.
Yeah. Oh, and I know like for some of the stuff, like we don't sell like super frequently. Pretty regularly we sell a lot of kids stuff too. Like old Disney tapes and stuff like that. And again, it's like stuff that never really made it onto CD, but also at the time when that stuff was coming out, it was like, oh, you can't give your kids CDs, they'll scratch it up. The cassette thing, though, little kid can't really mess that thing up, which isn't true. But um, yeah, so a lot of that stuff, I remember like even when I was a kid, there were a lot of things that like, parents would get you a Disney thing or whatever. And it's just got cassettes for shit, and they have nice
Do you,
red plastic housing, so they're fancy and
do you guys sell it on on eBay stuff, or is it actually like you got an actual store, an online website sort of thing?
mostly Amazon.
All right, cool.
Which yeah, is fucking awful. Amazon's the worst, but it's like the highest traffic place, even though it is fucking miserable. And it wasn't miserable 25 years ago when we started doing this, but now it is.
So is all the stock you have just like old stock from what you had from from the shop, or is it just you're still buying and selling sort of thing?
A lot of it's old stock from the store. My dad still likes to go and, you know, drive over somewhere and dig around. He still likes like the thrill of the hunt for stuff like that. So he drags stuff back and Like, oh, here's a box full of shit that I got the other day. Like, oh, good.
It must be quite painful and long-winded to actually like take pictures of everything, upload it all. And...
Yeah, this thing with Amazon is you don't really have to do that. But they're getting a little bit worse about that. But a lot of times for media stuff, you just use the on-file things.
Oh, what's that? Other like other things that
And
people you just
eBay wants, yeah, they have like stock photos kind of stuff.
and then you just like put up
And for a
used
long
in
time, you
there
could make
quality.
listing on Amazon's without needing it. Yeah, you just grade it and put it in there. And eBay has a lot of those too, but they also have a lot of stuff that doesn't. You don't necessarily have to put a photo for those, but yeah, it's kind of annoying to lay them out and take a picture and all that stuff. But eBay is kind of like weird too. Like it doesn't. They still sell a lot of stuff on there, but it's more like when someone wants something, they just go to Amazon and click on the buy thing. Whereas when people are just generally looking for shit and like hunting for deals and bid on an auction or something on eBay.
Right.
So we have like most of our stuff just on Amazon, but there's some stuff on eBay that either is annoying to list on Amazon because it's like something they don't have in their database, or it's something that is, a little more like high value collector stuff that like eBay is much less easy to scam on for the buyers.
Right.
And so when you're selling expensive stuff, if it doesn't seem like it's going to sell any faster on Amazon and somebody who's really looking for a collector's thing, they're going to look everywhere for it. Like they're going to
Yeah.
check Discogs and Amazon and eBay and all this stuff. So like just put it on there because there's better like scam protection on Amazon. There's people who buy like a very rare CD and just burn it and then like send it back. It doesn't work on Amazon or whatever. And then it's like, no, when I put it in the mailer, it was fucking sealed after I checked that. Because I figured you were probably going to try to scam me, so I sealed it to see if you opened it to take anything out of it. And then they send it back with it's all scratched up, where it's like, oh yeah, look, it was scratched up. And it's like, no, I did not put it in there like that. We have a disk resurfacing machine that makes them look like brand new if they did have any scratches. It's
Yeah.
like I ran it through the machine and checked it and then sealed it and like
So is
yeah,
it
it's
on?
getting bad if everybody's doing that. Like the other one that's funny on Amazon is the item no longer needed return option. Like
Right.
we've
Yeah.
literally had people buy like a book and 6 months later after they've used it for a class or whatever and like underlined things in it, like folded pages and stuff, just try to return it later for a full refund. Item no
Right.
longer needed. Like get fucked. Like, yeah, it's awful. And then like you get some fucking Filipino guy on Amazon who's like, you need to refund these guys in 2 days, otherwise we're just gonna take the money out of your account. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna give them a full refund after they fucked my book up, and I'm gonna have to relist it for 30% of what it was originally listed for because it's now got creased pages and a fucked up dust jacket and all that kind of stuff. It's like,
I'm surprised that Amazon even allow that, to be fair. If it's not returned in the same
yeah,
like condition it was sent in, get fucked.
yeah, they're not really supposed to, but it's just like such a customer first thing that, yeah, that people try that. And it's pretty bad. And like I always joke, like, I mean, we have people do that stuff to us. Like we had somebody buy fucking a Jethro Tull gold plated like what the fuck is a maxi disc, which were like these like high audio quality things. They had like special jewel boxes that when you open the jewel box and folded it open, it like moved this little thing that hinged the disc up to lift it up off the tray so you could pick it up easier. And they all came with like slip sleeves and stuff. So we had like a literal brand new one. It wasn't like one that had been, whatever, and just sealed against me for $80. Somebody bought it and then claimed that it got there and didn't have the disc. And they literally just opened it, took the disc out, and they ripped the slipcase in half to open it instead of just sliding it off, whatever, and sent it back. And it's like, you need to refund this guy for the full value. It didn't have a disc. It's like, no, it fucking did. Like, this is not a
Did they get away with it as well?
all kinds of people that, I mean, initially, yes, but there's like a thing that you can file a safety claim and you can provide the like photos and stuff like that. And like, we haven't had too bad of luck with it. There's definitely like a lot of people who are like, yeah, I only win 40% of my safety claims. We've mostly had it turn out okay, but it's still just an annoying step to have to, like, someone, instantly refunds something and sends it back, which we've got to pay for the label to get it back just to find out that they fucked it up or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's dumb because like the people working there don't have a fucking clue too. There's this like it. There was a good sign that it was going to be a scam, but there was this guy like ordered something on Saturday in the afternoon, and then like an hour later, it was like, "Has the item shipped yet?" Like, no, it's Saturday. Like the post office doesn't work. And then he like emailed again on Sunday morning, "Has the item shipped yet?" Like, no. And then like Saturday after or Sunday afternoon, filed for a refund because item hasn't or item arrived damaged. And then Sunday evening, you get an email from a Filipino guy that's like, "You have a claim of an item arriving damaged." It's like, you work for Amazon. You can see that we haven't shipped the item yet. You should know we can't ship the item because it's a weekend, because that's how the postal service system works. And even this Filipino guy is like threatening us to take action. It's like the people at Amazon even know how to fucking works. There's no wonder they get scammed all the time. I was joking like, why not like why didn't I do that? Like buy my computer off Amazon and just like put like I have an old Pentium 3 to 33 desktop somewhere. Just put that back in the box. Be like, yeah, the wrong computer arrived. This isn't the right one. Just get the free thing. It's like it'd be my luck that I do that once and just get banned immediately. Whatever. Unless the people are just doing it constantly. And there was a thing like 8 or 10 years ago where this like couple in Ohio or something in the Midwest scammed. It was like $120,000 worth of shit off of Amazon before they got busted, and they'd basically just like order an iPad and then claim that it was smashed in the box, and it
Right.
would like auto dispatch another one to them, and then they claim that one was smashed in the box, and they just got like iPads, PlayStation 4s, like all this shit, or PlayStation 3s, all that kind of shit. And it took them $120,000 or something worth of this stuff before Amazon was like, huh, this seems suspicious, and figured them out. It's like, man, there's no way they care whether we lose a couple $100 when someone scams us for something.
Easy.
Like this is like it's funny. There's like a forum thing for it, and I went to it the other day when I was having a problem with the postage system working, just to see if people were reporting an outage or whatever. And there was a thread where this guy's just like, "This is fucking ridiculous. Like this is the last year I'm doing this bullshit. Like I'm done." And people were all just kind of like sharing their horror stories for stuff, and it's like, there's this. It's basically a scam that's like they call it FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. And what you can
Right.
do is like you can list your stuff and then just mail it to Amazon. And then when somebody orders it, Amazon will send it out for you. But the problem is that like once it's out the door for you, you have no clue what's going on with it.
Right. Yeah.
So you can send, brand new records and then they like drop the box in the corner and bend all the corners of the things, and so they're not brand new and perfect anymore. They're fucked up. And then they send, if you send 50 of them, they keep 20 of them at the central warehouse. They send 10 of them to this place, 10 of them here, 5 of them over there. They're like all over the fucking place. And then they decide what shipping method they're going to use for them, which means they don't necessarily use the most efficient one. People in the warehouse just like throw it in a box. They don't give a fuck. So it's not necessarily packed well. And then when it's damaged, then depending on how they judge it, like they will take responsibility for it if it can be proven that it was because their thing. But obviously, they try to get out of that anytime they can and try to make you complain and go through extra steps in order to get that. And so there was like this one guy that said that he ships. He didn't say what they were, but he said that he ships larger items and that they typically cost $80 to $100 to ship depending on what part of the country they're going to. And recently, Amazon have been charging them $200 to $250 to ship them.
Jeez.
And like when he complained about it because they were using like a different shipping service than he originally planned, they said, no, this is a reasonable adjustment to the shipping method. So he's like, all right, well, I've got to go add $150 to my shipping price to potentially cover this. So he raised his price by $150 to cover it. And then Amazon immediately blacklisted his listing because of price gouging. It's like, what the fuck? We get that stuff like when you look something up to list it, that's like 70% of the work to just list the fucking item. So sometimes if you get something that's like a dud, it's only worth $4 or whatever, then you could just throw it away or whatever. Or if you've already done the work to check it out, you might as well just list it and get your little bit of money for it.
Yeah.
And you can like list something for $4 and then it'll get taken down for unreasonable price, like the price is too high. It's like at $4, you're gonna make 50 cents off of it by the time you pay for the fee and the fucking listing thing stuff. And it's like, you can't make it any cheaper, otherwise you're gonna lose money on it. They sell like item flagged for a high price. It's like, god damn. Of course, they have AI doing that kind of stuff now, and it really does some dumb shit that it does. Funny if it was happening to other people, but when it happens to you, then it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's just become absolutely miserable. But you can't really go anywhere else and get any kind of traffic and sales numbers. Market corners.
I've tried selling stuff online and it's tough.
Yeah.
You need to do it in such bulk that somehow you're still selling something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sell stuff on Vinted, but I'm lucky to
Yeah.
sell like one or two things a week.
Yeah, it's weird because like for our stuff, like obviously for store stock, there were some things that we had multiple copies of or whatever. Most of the time when you bring in multiple copies, like for the store, it was when something was a new release, then you'd sell almost all of them. So you'd have like two or whatever. So yeah, we have like very few things that we have big stock numbers of. So it's just like, 100,000 things and it's, a bunch of individual items. So it's like, I mean, it depends on the time of the year too, as far as volume, but more listings, regardless of what it is, are convert to more sales pretty obviously too. It's like when we build up 10,000 items before we do a catalog update, then it does make for a pretty significant spike in sales for a while, even though it's all different stuff. Yeah, it was so nice. Like, and even like dealing with eBay is still pretty nice. Like, it's very rare that we have trouble with people on there. Of course, eBay actually has people that like there's actually seller feedback or buyer feedback
Yeah,
rather. So you can
yeah,
see when someone has shitty buyer feedback that they're probably going to be a problem, whereas Amazon has none of that stuff.
yeah. I don't really
It's just, yeah, it's
sell
more of
too
a
much
pain
from
to
there.
list there.
Yeah, in the UK, it's just hard to sell anything at the moment. I think people are
Yeah.
just struggling financially, which would make you think secondhand clothes and stuff would do well, but Apparently not.
Yeah. I think secondhand clothes stuff does pretty well here. At least it does for like brick and mortar store kind of places. Like there's several spots that have been opening that like we just have one that there's been a commercial on Spotify for it. I guess they have them in other parts of the country. I can't even remember what it's called. I just mainly remember that the Spotify commercial we have Willamette Street and they call it Willamette. And it's like one of those things that like it makes sense kind of when you read it or whatever, but like it always like annoys local people. It's like it's not Willamette, damn it. Um, but it's like yeah, a place where you bring your clothes and they don't price them cheap when you give it to them. It's not like a Goodwill or whatever, where you donate stuff and then people buy it cheap work clothes and stuff. Like it's where they want cool stuff that they can resell for a lot more money, but it works for them. There's several places in town that are like that. Of course, we live like the town that's nearby for us is a college town, so there's a lot of like rich college kids that want to go buy their vintage clothes and shit. Because college kids like that are fucking stupid. We used to have that stuff with like the music, like when we had a brick and mortar store, people like college kids would come in and buy shit all fucking 2 semesters they're there or whatever, and then they'd just like bring all this stuff in and trade it in. And it's like, oh, you were just in here last week and bought this one. And it's like, yeah, my parents are coming to visit. I didn't want to see them, I want them to see that I was spending all this money on music or whatever. So it's like they bought it, kept it for 6 months, and then sold it back to us for pennies on the dollar. Basically. And it's like, because that makes more sense than just keeping it and having your parents find out you were buying CDs with the money they were sending you.
But like with the internet now, I'm surprised anyone's buying any sort of stuff like that because it's everything's just available on the internet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I still like it, kind of, like a collector's thing kind of standpoint. I also don't really listen to this. Like, there's kind of this perception, especially it's like it's most common with vinyl, that people are like, "Hey, I've got a bunch of records to trade in. It's all really good stuff, like Willie Nelson and all these kinds of like recognizable names." And it's like they're recognizable because they made a million copies of them, and they're worth $3. And like it's rare stuff that's actually worth something. And like I don't really listen to stuff like that. So I mean, like I have a pretty big collection of CDs, but it's all stuff that they didn't make a shitload of copies of and stuff. So I mean, not that I could like, make all the money back that I spent on them, but like I shop pretty patiently and wait for things to be on sale and deals and stuff like that, and they don't just like super taper off in value. So there's not very many things in my collection that I couldn't get about $10 for pretty easily, which most of the time I don't really pay any more than that for them unless it's something I really want. But for, just like, Justin Bieber and stuff like that, it was super popular. And then every Goodwill in the country has one for 25 cents because people get tired of it and move on. So that trendy stuff tends to really fall off in value. But everything kind of goes in cycles too. Like eventually there's a point where stuff goes back up in value again. So like with cassettes kind of did that. that, that crash with where Bob went flying was fucking funny. Like anime is just obviously pulling off the track and like three people just hammer him
Yeah, Bob just
and like
didn't
on one
turn.
hand I kind of get it because yeah, well, and like me and Ball went through there ahead of you guys, and both of us understeered off the track there. Not quite as far off as you guys went, but like it's just like there was no grip through there. But it was funny that like from anime's point of view, that did seem like a reasonable place to be out of the way and position back. That third picture turned out really good,
Yeah, I like that one.
especially like the fourth one's weird. The way Ball's like, I guess the livery that he downloaded didn't have colored wheels, so his just had the blue wheels still.
Yeah.
But like in that picture, it looks like the rear wheel's blue and the front one isn't. It's kind of strange.
I think that's the filter I've got because on the original actual photo,
Yeah,
it changes the colors slightly to make them more realistic colors.
yeah.
Yeah, because what happened with for some reason his in the original photo his colors uh the um the wheel was completely red.
Glowing brake
And
disc.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
fake blowing. It looks like he's got a neon light in there. And I used the red eye setting. You know when you get like a reflection from a flash,
Yeah.
you can use the red eye. I used that on it to dim it down, and it changed the color. But it didn't make it look like a freaking someone just drawn there with a crayon.
Yeah.
His brake was glowing through that whole section as well, so I couldn't just like skip it forward a little bit.
Yeah.
So I just used the red eye
Sometimes what
thing.
you can do, is if it'll also fuck up the smoke though, if there's any smoke or dust and stuff. You can like go forward past the braking zone where the disc will cool off and then rewind back
Right.
to the point. So it's like technically at that point he's been off the brake because of the way that like sometimes that'll fix it. I'd like to do something with multiple cars, but again, like I just so much work and I kind of can't figure out what the way that I'd want to do it is. Like I have those cars. Remember we tested the Maserati, the Supra, the M3, the R33 Skyline and stuff, and those all had like race suspension and shit like that.
Yeah.
But they were pretty okay balanced at Kyalami, and people seemed to like them when we drove them. But then yanking the race suspension out of them didn't seem to change them too much from just like my very initial testing. Obviously, you still have to go through and like retest everything. But then that also like eliminated a couple of cars, like the Mustang, which it would have been nice to have the Mustang just to have one American V8 option in the group. And some of the cars, like the Mercedes AMG thing, its stock suspension is like sport suspension. Same thing with like this 911 GT3 or whatever, where it doesn't have much body roll and squat, but there is a little bit. And then some cars, when they're on stock suspension that don't have a sport option, there's like it's more like just a normal stock suspension where there's kind of a lot of squat and body roll. And if I'm right, that's the way the Mustang is. So it's not really one that you can just be like, oh well, leave it on stock. And
My
it makes
my
it drive pretty significantly different than the other ones.
I thought the 2018 one didn't actually feel too. It was a little bit rolly, but it wasn't like it was falling over sort of thing. It was still
Yeah.
kind of doing what you wanted it
Well, the
to do.
2018 one does have a sport suspension, doesn't it?
I've got a feeling that was the one that didn't, or it might
Pretty
have done
sure it
actually.
does.
Let's jump in it real quick. Actually, I read it down, didn't I? Because I shared it on
Pretty
the.
Yeah, it's got sport suspension. Yeah, I was talking about like the old one, the '95 Mustang or whatever, for like those cars that I had been working on. Like it doesn't have it because it's like the SVT Cobra R model, so it's supposed to have the sporty one from the box. It's kind of the way the Mustang Dark Horse is like that. Like it has stock sport suspension, but it's pretty soft and In some situations, I like it, and in some situations, it feels like it, especially when it's gripped up with slicks, that it's a little on the like a little too soft.
Oh, it's actually
And if
the
you could make every car just have the sport suspension or the stock suspension as opposed to sport, then that'd be okay too. But sometimes it's like a 1 PI change or whatever, so it's the kind of thing that could be covered off by a sway or
how do you know if
what
you
do you call it, a
how do you
drive
know if
shaft.
their stock from their sport from stock?
Th- the game kind of treats like if it only has race, then it's sort of like, oh, it's got sport suspension by stock.
Oh right,
But
okay.
when you drive them, like some of them feel just like, some of them feel kind of stiff and stuff like the sport suspension does, and some of them just feel really soft and squatty and rolly.
Because the BMW M4 and the
Like,
Supra both had sport from stock then, sort of, and
yeah.
they both felt actually really good.
Yeah, I remember when we did that Supra race at Suzuka with it. Um, there were like a couple people that didn't like the stock, so they're like, "Why is it so soft or whatever?" But I thought it felt pretty good with it like that. I usually like a little bit more compliant feeling, like even if it's just like a placebo effect, kind of like mental thing. Like I usually like my car to have a little bit of squat and roll to it.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool to be able to. It's like some of them, it definitely makes a noticeable difference to go from stock suspension to sport suspension. So it'd be nice to be able to take some of the cars and just keep everything on stock suspensions. That way they all have that roll and stuff to them, so it doesn't become like a.
Hmm.
Obviously, the cars having their own character is good, but having that stark of a difference in that aspect of it is maybe not so good. Depend on the car and how fast they're going and stuff, though, too. It'd be interesting to try some different methods of doing the balance of performance, too. Like, it would be nice if we could figure out what an actual good track to use all around is that works as a balance of performance place. I mean, I
Yeah.
know no place is gonna be perfect, but like one that like works good as like a baseline building thing. So I used to use Road Atlanta for it, but now with the curves being so violent there, it's hard to get consistent laps
Mm.
in anything that doesn't just soak up the curbs super nice.
Yeah, I mean, for
Um,
quite a lot of places, it's hard to be consistently consistent. One
yeah.
place, I mean, uh,
Like
uh,
Kyalami is definitely a bit skewed towards handling and acceleration.
yeah,
There's not too many. I mean, like, there's a couple of kind of high speedish corners there, but so I mean, and that's another one's kind of tricky because like you and me run there enough that we can get pretty good laps there, but some of the other guys that don't run there as often, and it being a newer track to Forza, like they're a little bit further off from where we are, so that's not quite ideal.
funnily enough,
And like
Hockenheim
I used to
looks,
do testing at Nürburgring GP because it's got like, big braking zones, acceleration zones, some like long. I mean, like turn two isn't really very fast in some cars, but it's kind of like a long load thing for balance wise, and like the S's are quick direction change and stuff. But again, it's kind of skewed towards acceleration and braking more. But
Hock,
like one thing that would be interesting to do, and it might actually work pretty good if we were to try to do a short, like parallel season, would be to just like maybe choose two cars or something to trial run it. But again, like we don't know how much time we have left in Forza. Like, is there going to be a 2027 season where this stuff is going to be valuable because we just have no other option? Or is it going to be dead? So if you burn up 6 months of testing something out like this, there might not really be a chance to utilize it. But interesting to do like, a 4 race season with two cars and do the
yeah,
balance of performance by totaling up the time across the four tracks that you got with the cars.
Right.
So, one track might favor that car, but the other one's going to flip back to the other one and actually do it like sort of scientifically like that with the numbers instead of just going, this is a speed track, it'll favor that one and just kind of rough guessing it. And
Right.
see
So
whether that's the kind of thing that like A works out good in the end and B isn't something that people just fucking bitch about like they did a bit with the Corvette or the what do you call it, the Ford versus Ferrari season.
yeah, yeah. So like you want to pick four cars, four tracks, and you want to balance them over the entire four tracks rather than
Yeah,
yeah,
just like write down like, go run 10 laps at each track with each car and
yeah.
then total them up and see what the total time is across those and just see if that works as a viable way to like, make the season have different kind of strengths and weaknesses. And I mean, and I guess that's something that we can, I don't know, the
Again,
little,
I feel like we need more
uh,
than just us to do that, though. I feel like that we kind of need a couple other people to
yeah,
do
we'd
that.
have to assign like everybody to go and write down their own results for it. And again, like Kiwi is kind of difficult with that stuff because he tends to like show up, not actually join us, or he joins us and like quits on lap two of every practice run we do. And on one hand, like I kind of get it. He can't really keep up with us or whatever anyway. But yeah, it just sort of means that he gets no real data and like doesn't really pay attention to it. And while we don't necessarily base our balance off of what like him and Raj and stuff like that get for lap times, it's still interesting kind of for our own reference to see whether, like if you and me are like, yeah, these cars are balanced, and then Raj drives them and goes, no, that one's a second and a half faster than this one. That doesn't necessarily mean it's right. It's just it's good for our own, expectation of what we're going to see during the season.
Right.
Whether it's like, oh, it seems like the slower guys struggle to get the most out of this car, so there's going to be higher number of this thing during the season, or whatever. But yeah, Kiwi tends to kind of just like sit around and or he messes up and takes the jump at the Nürburgring GP and flips and then quits and it's like I don't know. That's what I guess we'll have to figure out sooner than later what we want to do for next season too.
Yeah.
And like again with the Corsa and the Miata thing, like if I think Fire Oranges was rejigging the spreadsheet so that it would use that like bonus point with the VLN scoring thing as a mechanic and like so that we could just tell it to do that basically and it would figure it out on its own.
Right.
But like part of me goes like, we've done slow fucking limited tuning, like handling things or whatever, like with the Centro, like we just did it. And but at the same time, like I mean, I had fun racing those cars and testing, and they seem like the kind of thing that everybody would be able to drive, and it'd be an interesting dynamic for a season. But it's hard to know how it would actually work out until it's going. And if using that system would work, then it would mean that we could use the same system for the next season and we could drive A-class cars or whatever, and not to be as worried about whether they're identical or not.
Yeah.
Or if it didn't really work out, then we'd know, all right, well, this isn't an alternative. But it also feels kind of bad to like use up a whole season essentially as a test thing when we probably only have 3 or 4 more seasons left for sure. Beyond that, we don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it's hard
like
to
to
say
me, it doesn't
because
make any sense.
it feels like we're stuck around this sort of amount of people at the moment, and then we've got the
Yeah,
same people returning every single week. I mean, the lobbies are up and down at the moment. I mean, I've been trying to join C and D class lobbies recently, and there's just fucking no one in them. No one's there. But then,
yeah,
like, you go to do the meet up at the Nurburgring, and it's full lobbies of people driving cars that they can't drive.
Yeah.
So it's really strange
Can you
where.
open up the car selection stuff?
Oh, is it locked? Is it? Oh, yeah, I set
Well,
some of
it's
the
limited to like the
parameters.
years or whatever. Yeah, that's limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so in Forza 7, when stuff started to die out, like we picked up some people, and like for a while, we were the biggest league that I know of in Forza 7 because Tora like wasn't doing anything,
Yeah.
and we like gained some people then. And so I don't know like whether that's gonna happen again. And to me, like I sort of don't see why it matters. Like, yes, it's annoying that the game is dead. Yes, every time we have one of those bugs or some nonsense like that, it's very like frustrating. But what is what are people gonna go play instead?
Yeah.
Like, what are the other options? There aren't one. And so, like, we're still having fun with the Assetto Corsa, and it's fucking 10 years old and has less than a quarter of the content that this game does. So I sort of don't see why it should matter. But if the perception is going to be like game dead, time to move on, and we're going to get down to, 6 or 8 people running, then like at what point does it just not like it's not worth putting all the effort in? And that's the other thing, like the less people running, the less enthusiastic people seem, the less motivation there is to try to like do something ambitious and balance multiple cars and stuff like that. When it's like, who cares? Just run spec shit all the
It's a
time.
bit it's a bit stranger because I feel like Forza Motorsport didn't really die, but it died because they said it died. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's just that they didn't want to spend any money on it. It's not that it actually because it's still. I think until they said that, it was still fairly busy in the lobbies and stuff. It's just they stopped doing stuff.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I think it died because they killed it, effectively.
yeah. Well, and it was hurting because they fucked it up. And then because they fucked it up, it never really rebounded, even though it was starting to go in a much better direction. And then they just pulled the plug and gave up. And yeah, I mean, that's what, who knows, even if it was doing better, whether it would have been meeting the requirements for Microsoft not to axe it, because they axed a bunch of shit.
You know what they needed to do as well? They needed to actually get an actual esports event going, and they had Tora to do it with right there. They could if they
Yeah,
made it big to the point where like it drawn an audience sort of thing, which I think they could have done. They missed the mark there.
they would have had to do more work, I think.
Well, they did it
Because
in
like they
Forza
did that Forza
four,
RC
five.
thing in Forza 6 and 7,
Was it six? Seven? Oh, Jesus, I thought it
and
was
those were big time flops.
because they didn't
Like they
advertise it
had
though.
very low viewer numbers. Well, yeah, but it was just also a shit game for it. Like drafting didn't fucking work. The races were stupid, and they were like over at the end of lap one because people would get just a big enough gap that there wasn't any battling going on. And like it was funny on all the streams when they'd like people in the comments were like, "Why are the fucking cars hitting the rev limiter every shift?" Because everybody was using manual with clutch, and on the spectate mode especially, it would like bang off the limiter every time.
Yeah.
And like it's so opposite. Like I mean, I haven't played Gran Turismo since Gran Turismo 6 or whatever on the PS3, and like have any particular loyalty to it anymore. But when they do like the Gran Turismo World Challenge events or whatever the hell they're called nowadays,
Mm.
like every once in a while I'd fire one of those up while I was eating my lunch or something, thinking I'd, watch for 10 minutes or whatever. And they actually had a lot of genuinely interesting racing because of their like, you have to run each compound a tire. And you'd get guys who'd start the race and do one lap on the hard tire just to get it out of the way
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
switch over. And then you'd get some guys that would do 2 laps on the hard tire to take a little bit of pressure off the soft at the end. And they like the races would come right down to the wire and like one car closing down on the other one, and it was actually interesting. and the draft strategy at some of the that one big dumb Tokyo highway map or whatever with that huge fucking straightaway in it. Kind of had that like NASCAR feeling of like, all right, like everybody's just being smart and staying in line and deciding when it's time to go to try to make that last little sprint off the final corner of the line, which, in a way is when you're doing it, it's kind of frustrating. But when you're watching it, it's definitely interesting because you don't know who's going to win until it's at the line, basically. So if they had like done a little bit more with their tire compound stuff, like let us force some of them off or force the changes and a few things like that, then yeah, it could have turned into something that had a bit more exciting streaming stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, as soon as the game released, it's like they pretty much give up with their like actually advertising stuff, didn't they? Really, like that Chinese bloke. You never saw him
yeah,
come really back on in the face once everyone was like, "Well, this is shit."
yeah,
Like when you had to fucking level up the cars. I mean, who thought that was a good idea in this sort of game?
yeah,
It's silly things like that
yeah.
which
Well, I mean,
instantly pissed people off. It's like, yeah, this
a,
is not.
a lot of people did think it was a good idea. If you go
Yeah,
look at the forum, like there's people who are pissed that like people that they changed it, like all these fucking crybabies that want all their instant gratification stuff. And it's like, well, it should have been like it was fine if it was just isolated to career mode.
yeah,
Don't make it work for multiplayer. And yeah, some of us said that right from the start. Like, don't do this. This is ruining everything. And people, you fucking whiners or whatever. Imagine having to put a little bit of work in. It's like, this is a racing game. The work is not sucking. Like, earning the parts for the thing shouldn't take this. And, like, yeah, people, oh, these guys fucking using their auto drive. And it's like, well, because it's bullshit to have to do it the normal way. Like, that's not reasonable. Then especially when the game has stupid limitations, where like somebody's just, buy a car, level it up to level 50 just to find out that it's not going to work for this fucking thing anyway because of some dumb decision that they made where its tire sizes like only jump up some huge amount or, some stupid thing like that. And so, yeah, like again, it worked for career mode, but if they had just consulted other people and taken outside feedback, which again, I guess the guys at Tora that worked with them, they told him right from the start, like, this is not going to be popular, and it is going to make the entire multiplayer side of things absolutely miserable.
yeah.
Because now, if you want to upgrade this, when it's front-wheel drive four-cylinder hopper this week, and you go, I wonder if like that other Civic's good. What if this one good? Oh, you have to go drive it stock to start leveling it up, and then you're going to level it up to the point to go try it out in the hopper, only to find out that it's not competitive, and then you've just wasted all that fucking time. So like it actively takes you out of populating the hoppers. Yeah, again, like it just seems like it's such obvious stuff, and they just totally fumbled it. Win the billion-dollar lottery and make our own game studio and just build the game that we want and see how well it sells. That'd be a curious, like, social experiment kind of thing. Like it's easy for us to think like, oh, it'd have been so much better if they had just done this, but would it have actually made any difference?
Yeah, to be honest though, right, Forza's almost there, right? When you actually think about like for what we do, it's almost there.
Yeah,
It's got that easeability, so anyone can just jump in and drive a car. But it's just missing the
yep,
fundamental bits which make close racing, like the stupid stuff that people do with suspension to make it do weird stuff.
yeah,
Uh, Not an easy thing to fix, I'm sure. There's probably quite a lot of code which is
yeah,
making it do the thing that they do. That's not an easy fix, but obviously we've come up with a fix by putting stock suspension in stuff. But like having a list like where we can force cars to be stock tune, that would be perfect. I
Yeah,
mean, there's a setting for it, but it doesn't work.
yeah. Or yeah, coming up with a thing that I mean, like obviously they have it in place with the hoppers, where like you join the lobby, you choose the car, it just automatically puts the right parts on the car
Yeah.
and puts the power handicaps, whatever that it needs, on an individual car by car basis. Like the thing that I sort of figured would be best for it and suggested was instead of like, sharing a tune or sharing a livery or whatever, there's an option that's just called a build. And it puts the parts on. There's no change. The only thing you can change is, and it'd be an option that you could tick, would be wheels to other wheels that would have the same weight.
Yeah.
And it locks the things, and then you can go through the tune as well and lock just a page of the tune. So like, when we run V8 supercars, like in real life, those have standard gearboxes that you can't change the ratios in any of them. So let us share our V8 supercar build as no transmission tuning. Same thing with the diff. They all run spool diffs in real life, so no tuning there. And yeah, then you can get around it by having the suspension thing where it's just like, you're not allowed to tune bump. Got to be at this value, or you could set a maximum value or something, and yeah. Or make the fucking tuning settings more, or the upgrade options impact tuning settings in a different way. Yeah, like make it so that there's, hell, add a new one, a semi-race suspension or something. And it's like sport suspension, except for it also adds a ride height adjustment and like 3 clicks of spring. They're soft, medium, and firm. And that's all you get. There's not changing things by 10 pounds or whatever, all those little settings like that. And then you could have a little bit of tuning to dial in the car without having the full range of stuff that can break things. Because, yeah, I mean, it is tough to fix something that's like basically baked into the wackiness of the physics engine. I mean, it's something that like ACC's had to go through multiple times where they've had to fix things. People are running ridiculous numbers for stuff and basically exploiting things. Hasn't been quite as extreme as Forza, but like it can be done. And just gets like I don't understand why so many cars have like if I'm right, the Mazda RX-3 is one of them. It's like stock tire size 155. First click of tires 205.
Yeah.
Why? Don't do that. Like, and the
Well,
game, it's not like they had to go through and hand
fuck it.
model each one of those tire sizes or something. They're all just like scaled.
Yeah.
So same thing with like the rim diameters and stuff. Like when you change the rim diameter, it also changes the spacing on the lug nuts and stuff. It just scales it up. So just make every single one have every one of those options,
Is there a way to
and
see
it'd give us so much more flexibility.
what cars have the time attack body kits?
Not exactly. There's a guy, I don't know, I'd have to go find it. There's a guy that like made a like Google Doc that has a list of every car with special body kits and parts available. But even that, they were really inconsistent with it. So like that Aston Vantage has a Forza wide body kit that looks kind of like a factory race car style one that just is, not like a fucking goofy Rocket Bunny thing. Like the 2016 Audi has one. The AMG GTR has one. There's several of them that have the Lexus RCF, not the track version, just like the regular one. Has a like GT3 inspired bodywork option for it. The Viper has one. Like there's actually a bunch of them. But yeah, it's hard to tell. And there's some of them like the Acura, like the newer NSX has the like Forza edition style one that's kind of goofy looking with like the kind of shitty flares. The 2017 GTR has like a again like a Forza inspired one. And then like the Black Series GTR has like a charge speed or someone over like actual aftermarket brand one. Yeah, there's a guy that made like a list that compiles all of the cars that have it.
Did you know the body kits that's on the BMW E40? Yeah, the E46, the one that's like a proper time attack body kit. I wonder if it'd be worth seeing if
Yeah,
the ones with that kit will kind of do the thing that Anime was talking about, instead of having all those 200 odd cars
yeah.
and
That was so
doing.
much like I like the idea of doing some of Fujimi Kaido. I do not like the idea of trying to figure out which one of the 200 cars I want to show up with and actually have a chance. Because if I'm not like if I'm just gonna show up and immediately be off the pace by 6 seconds or something because I chose the wrong car, I can just drive around single player and have fun there. I don't need to fucking do it at a certain time of the week or whatever, which I kind of hate being like a poor sport like that. But I don't know. Yeah, because they have like which one? Oh, the Goofy, whatever the fuck that says.
Is it
AIM something.
Ames?
AIM something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which for some reason isn't on the list.
I
It's got.
don't think there's too many that have one that's that extreme. Um, the RX-7, the 97 RX-7 has a pretty wild one. It was the one that I, like when I tried building my Pistons versus Rotary RX-7 series, it was the one that I used. I know DJ was like, God, it's ugly or whatever, which I actually don't think it's that ugly, honestly. Yeah, it's got a TCP Magic one that's pretty aggressive, and it has a matching big ass rear wing, like really big ass rear wing. Um, what's the one? The regular RCF has a pretty aggressive body kit, a Rocket Bunny one. I don't know if it's quite as aggressive as those, but and again, a really big ass rear wing. But it's a sport rear wing, so it's not really providing much in the way of downforce.
Um, hold on. Yeah, the one on the BMW is a race wing by the AMS.
Yeah. And then like the CTS-V
Oh,
has that like
it's
sort of
AIM 9.
DTM-esque looking one, or ATS rather. Uh, or the yeah, the Cadillac ATS-V has that pretty aggressive one, but it's still not quite time attacky, but it's more aggressive than some of them have. One of the ZL1 Camaros has a kind of aggressive one, like body-wise, but then its wing that it has that matches, it's just like a little lip spoiler or whatever. That's one car that I wouldn't mind doing, like figuring out to do a season if we want to do a muscle car one. The regular Camaro ZL1, it has a really nice sport suspension, or like stock suspension, where it's like not too rolly, but then when it's, it's kind of a heavier car and stuff, it has just the right amount and it soaks up bumps really nicely as far as running across curbs really well. So if we were going to choose something to do a, V8 Supercars Light or something, it might be a decent option to have limited tuning with. And there was also a what was it called? Danish Thunder cars that was a Camaro like spec series thing. They just ran tube frames with big motors in them, but vaguely inspired by that. Yeah, it's not that one. 'Cause that's right. The standard ZL1, when you put the wide body kit, it just auto installs the fucking safety car lights in the roof. Then you can't not have them. Yeah, it's the Street Fighter LA kit for the ZL1 1LE, but that means it has stock race suspension, which is annoying. Let's see. I found a Reddit list some guy put together. I don't know when it was last updated though. It's
Um,
got most of them listed.
it depends on how much aero they actually give them as well, doesn't it? That's the problem.
Yeah.
There's one with a
Yeah, because some of
Subaru
them just look aggressive and
2015.
don't really add that much.
That's interesting. Apparently, the McLaren 720S has the GT3 body kit.
Yeah.
Do I even have the McLaren?
Uh,
No, I do not.
I don't see it. It has some other fucking brand that's Duke Dynamics, but it's not a GT3 body kit. It's just like a different hood and some other shit. It's Sport Aero, but yeah, so his list isn't completely updated because it doesn't have. I guess maybe his is just for the wide body kits though, and not the ones that have. Because like the Artura has the GT4 body kit that you can put on it, but it's not like you choose wide body. It just has the GT4 wing and front bumper and stuff. They're all just labeled as McLaren race.
Mm. Right. It's nearly 3 o'clock in the morning, so I best bounce. But
Ah, yeah. All right.
I mean, we have got some of the Tarmac attack cars as well. We got that Toyota Starlet thing,
Yeah.
and we have the Mitsubishi Evo time attack car as well.
Yep.
If you
The other thing too that I
did,
would
because
want to do if we were doing a Fujimi Kaido thing though, I feel like it would be way more interesting if we didn't allow the Forza line. And I think like no one's gonna be up for that. And those cars are very fast.
yeah, but you power cut
So
them.
I can
You
see people
power cut
getting
them
very
down to
upset. Yeah,
you power cut them to
I
250,
guess
so
if
then
we
they
do
have
that.
hardly any power, and you only have gravity pulling you down the hill.
Yeah.
Gravity, but downforce.
I don't know, like that's one of those things that always annoys me is people seem so like reluctant to like turn off the line, like it's some unreasonable suggestion. And it's like that's the point of stuff like this is that like you have to have a bit of a risk reward thing 'cause you don't know whether the thing is and like and I don't know if there's very many people that actually remember every corner on that fucking track. Some people know sections better than other people and stuff, and that's part of where the interest comes in.
Yeah.
And like if you're following somebody, then do you trust them that they know what they're doing? Or can you pressure them into a mistake and make them run wide somewhere or something? Otherwise, it's just kind of, yeah, following the line around. And other people still wouldn't crash even if they had the line on, but it would definitely be like a bit of a different dynamic for the race.
Yeah, there's definitely a few places
And
I
like I have
didn't
an
make a mistake for.
AE86 that I built. Yeah. Like I built an AE86 that was like designed specifically for it that doesn't have much power that I thought like might actually be able to be sort of raced and stuff. So like it'd be interesting to have that as a chase thing. But if we're gonna go like if we do Fujimi Kaido event, then Ball and Bob are probably immediately out. Probably Boo. And then if we do Forza line off, then I can see other people just being like, yeah, I'm not fucking doing this. And then five of us race. So, I don't know. It's such a shame.
I mean, there's still so much content. I mean, we've got quite a good selection of tracks in this game. I don't see
Yeah.
why we'd get bored. I mean, regardless,
Yeah.
it's still racing.
Yep.
It's just down to us to
So yeah, it's
make
just whether or not
interesting
other
racing.
people agree, kinda, or whether they're just like, whatever game did, I moved on, as if there's anything else for them to move on to.
Yeah,
And it's like
exactly.
we just watched everybody eat shit at Hockenheim in a car with slicks and less than 300 horsepower. So what are they gonna do? Go play fucking
The
what on
circles.
console? Project Motor Racing? Like, I don't think so.
If they all seem to fucking they seem very fucking quiet, really, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad I refunded that before the release date.
yeah. Supposedly the last like patch that they did made like a big step progress-wise,
Right.
and it's like a lot of people feel like if it had released in the state that it's in now, then people wouldn't be that upset. But it's still not enough to get me to pay $60, $70 or whatever for it. Like, I'll try it for 14.99. Like until it goes on sale for that, they can get fucked.
Okay, I will catch you probably tomorrow or day after or whatever. Um,
Yep.
if you decide to sign up to that race thing, let me know. But
All right.
should be a bit of fun. Mm.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just interested in to see how much faster the fast guys actually still are
Yeah.
without their modification fuckery. I'd be happy if I can get within a second of them,
Yeah.
because I don't really feel like there's too much place to really lose time there, if you know what I mean, at Daytona.
Yeah. I I sort of feel the same way, but it seems like I always seem to find where it is. I say I'm almost always slow there.
Yeah, we'll be
At
slow
least I was in
together.
previous games. I don't know, I assume that's probably still the same thing.
The thing is, though, with being Daytona, though, you also have the ability to potentially draft back past them. You could fuck the bus stop up, but still be
Yeah.
within 6 tenths, so they're not going to drive away from you.
Yeah.
Well, that's the hope, anyway. We'll find out how it goes.
Yeah.
Um, I'll catch you maybe tomorrow or day after or whatever. See you later.
Yeah, should be around. All right, later.